I'm going to a house party with some friends. Now, they're all spiritual and part of the Burbank Law of Attraction meetup group that I go to. I wasn't planning to do this vlog today, but I want to get used to more impromptu, unplanned vlogging. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be talking about or what I'll capture over there, but one question does come to mind. Before the party starts, one of them is going to give me a psychic reading or body healing or something like Reiki. Now, I'm skeptical. I don't want to fool myself and believe in anything for no reason. Reason and evidence should support anything I believe to be true. Now, although I'm very devout, reason and evidence should also support my spirituality. And that may not always be the case for many people. I enjoy learning about different religions and spiritual traditions, practices, and rituals, and I have a lot of respect for them. But I have noticed a lot of people on this path too readily, too easily believe in everything so-called spiritual, anything that's taught to them or they learn about in books or videos. So are spiritual people too gullible? I'm one to talk about being a rational skeptic and not gullible. I consider myself very spiritual. Now, religious or spiritual faith can be seen by others as the most naive thing to believe in. I mean, what's bigger than believing in an all-knowing, ever-present, and all-powerful being? Whether we call it God, universal consciousness, infinite intelligence, or whatever. That seems to be the biggest leap of faith there is. But is it really? Rupert Spira would contend that it isn't. And that coming to realize this underlying infinite consciousness is a very simple and ordinary experience. It is, after all, the foundation of who we really are, one that we overlook or forget, but we have direct experience of it. He teaches that it is our direct experience, and that a little investigation can reveal this. So I decided to do a little vlogging today, last minute. Hey there, this is Mike, one of the co-founders of the Law of Attraction meetup group that we all belong to.
That's correct.
One of the organizers, leaders. The other one is somewhere in there. Should we go say hi to her?
She's hiding in there.
She's hiding. Let's capture her on video. This is my friend JP.
Hey, Anthony.
He's going to be doing the reading for me today. Is that
fun?
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
What would you call it?
Energy reading.
Okay.
Was our little boy playing with his bro?
I was. And now I'm playing with my camera as a gracious host for today.
Reading can be open, but let's start with you know how, like, and I'm still setting my space, but you know how so many things happening already.
You would respect, but I didn't expect it to be that wonderful. Seriously.
Yeah. Thank you.
And that beneficial. And the advice that you gave me, it was really great stuff.
I have to give you credit because if you weren't open, then I wouldn't be able to read you that much because it's reading.
Yeah. Well, this is stuff I love, and so like I wouldn't be more open to anything else than this. So sorry.
You showed me a
one-handed
lot.
vlogging and
In only 45 minutes, you showed me a lot.
really.
Yeah.
And normally I bottle those things up and I resist. So that means a lot.
How you open you are today.
Really?
And okay, sure, because I'm like, okay, we're in party mode. He brought that. I'm here. Let's see what happens. I don't know.
No, I'm always in spiritual mode. I'm always in spiritual mode. This guy,
Yeah,
he's
like
wonderful. JP.
Thanks, guys.
You get in contact with him if you can somehow. I don't know. I'll link to your website.
All right, sure, whatever. I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to set this up now. You know, which is ironic. I'm going to set up these lights, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a nice performance today by our guests.
Yes.
But it's ironic because, they're as spiritual as you can get, and yet tonight the performances, the entertainment, I guarantee you, it's going to be as raunchy and offensive and inappropriate as possible. Yeah, very entertaining. It's going to be good, but not what you would expect of a spiritual group.
Which is amazing. I love that dichotomy.
Right? So as I'm setting this up, let me just put this down real quick. We're party animals. Oh, especially this guy.
Wow, what's up?
Wow, camera in your face right here.
Wow, not even.
Magic guy over here. All right, no comment. I'm doing a serious vlog here.
Sorry.
I'm doing a spiritual
We're
vlog
seriously vlogging
about
here.
how spiritual people can be gullible. Do you think that's true?
There's like
There's layers in that right there.
Well,
if
that's
I
why.
I've got
answer-
some rocks I'd like to consult on first before I answer that question. I need to line up my chakras before I can really.
I just did with JP. He just gave me a second reading.
Yeah.
It was great, honest, genuine, and it was a great reading. It was wonderful. And it prompted me to think about and to talk about this now. Well, there are times people can go into that and just credulously believe in everything that they go into, and then have a confirmation bias about what they're hearing.
Yeah.
Right? You know all about this because this guy manipulates and misleads everyone for a living as a magician.
Magicians don't mislead people.
And deceive
We
people in
take
their
them on a
magic.
journey, you know.
Okay.
But I think that a little bit of healthy skepticism is healthy.
I heard about this 6 months ago.
Did I say healthy twice there? I think I did.
Healthy skepticism is healthy.
It is though, like, you know, a little skepticism is good. But then again, like being closed off to magic completely is not good.
Right.
Like,
Speaking of magic, we got to see this guy in action soon on a YouTube channel near you.
Yes.
Or in a much bigger platform, network TV. One day, speaking of magic, of showcasing real magic.
we got to do our little
How's the
project.
title?
Sometimes Anthony and I go out and film stuff, and it's super fun.
we have
You're my
to do
favorite
that.
person to film with.
Oh.
So this is what Napoleon would do after he won a battle. He would open up champagne with his sword.
I just came back from a Rupert Spira seminar. Despite being a spiritual teacher, he said to the group during a Q&A session, and I've heard him say it before, he said, "I don't like spiritual people." Now, I like all of my spiritual friends and everyone watching. I'm one of the most spiritual people I know. But I don't necessarily partake in all of the outwardly religious rituals, adorn religious paraphernalia, or easily concede to everything so-called spiritual that I hear about. I'm a rational skeptic, and outside of religious beliefs, I rely on direct experience. Even in my approach to religion, I rely on reason and evidence to inform my beliefs and worldview.
I remember a talk by Swami Sarvapriyananda, a famous Hindu monk who teaches Advaita Vedanta, or the non-dual philosophy. He talked about the two main religious approaches, the God-centered approach and the self-inquiry approach. He says the problem with the God-centered approach is doubt that God exists. That's why we have arguments to prove the existence of God. But when we investigate the self, for self-realization, we don't have any doubt. We don't have any doubt that we exist. But the problem here is that that existence is limited. As an individual self, we can be miserable and suffer because of our feelings of lack and limitations. God, as infinite, all-powerful, doesn't have that problem. But again, it's possible for us to doubt its existence. So on polar ends, we have an uncertain belief in the infinite on one end, and on the other, we have direct experience of a certain but limited self. But the point that the Swami makes is that the main teaching of Vedanta is the bringing together of both approaches in the phrase, that thou art. The essential nature of who you are is infinite consciousness, or God. As he says, your certain existence is also an infinite existence. As Rupert Spira also teaches so well, we can actually realize this truth experientially. We can see past our identification with our limited minds and bodies that we can be so compelled by and certain that we are. But all of our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations are always changing, and they can easily be removed from us, and we still have the same sense of self. We have a sense of self that's unchanging and unqualified by any of our experiences. investigating who we really are, we can come to realize that the most essential part of us is that pure awareness, the pure capacity or potential for all experiences, universal consciousness, infinite intelligence, or God. And this might be the peak of what spiritual teaching and practice is ultimately about. Not just to come to this realization, but to live it. One of the most important figures in Swami Sarvapriyananda's lineage is Swami Vivekananda. And he said, in spiritual life, we try to divinize our human relationships and to humanize our divine relationship. I like that. It seems like a noble and worthwhile pursuit. And in the effort alone, nothing too gullible in that. Like and comment if this resonated with you, and subscribe below to follow me on my journey. See you next time.